The calmest men are the most dangerous. It is not aggression nor ambition that holds true power. It is peace. In a world consumed by noise, by chaos, by the constant hum of distractions, we are taught to crave more success, more energy, more action. But what if the path to mastery isn't through doing more, but through doing less? What if the secret to clarity in this storm of constant overthinking was not to outsmart the noise, but to become its master? The samurai knew this. They didn't fight with force alone. They fought with stillness. In silence, their minds were as sharp as their blades, and in this noisy world, their practice offers the only way to find true peace. You've felt it too, haven't you? The weight of a mind that won't stop. The constant spinning thoughts, tugging in every direction. The restless search for an escape. Another day, another promise to yourself. You'll get focused. You'll calm your mind. You'll stop worrying. But then the night falls, and the glow of the screen pulls you in again. You find yourself scrolling, clicking, endlessly searching for some distraction, something to quiet the storm inside. The anxiety, the overthinking, the emotional exhaustion. They don't leave. They never do. Tomorrow, you'll do better. But every morning feels the same. And with each failed attempt, the guilt creeps in. A quiet, heavy reminder that you are not in control. But what if I told you there's an ancient practice that can quiet the chaos in your mind? A method forged by samurai, warriors who knew the true cost of mental disorder. They faced not only enemies, but their own inner battles. And they found a way to restore their calm, to align their mind with purpose. A practice called Seishin Chōwa, mind harmony. A way to clear the noise, to center the self, and find peace in the middle of chaos. Centuries ago, they mastered this method, and now it's your turn. Another night. The dim glow of the phone screen flickers against his face, casting harsh shadows across the room. Daniel tells himself it will be different tonight. He'll sleep early. He'll wake up refreshed. He'll stop scrolling, stop procrastinating. But as the hours slip away, his finger moves, mindlessly swiping through endless feeds. His thoughts keep running. Work, relationships, goals, fears, everything and nothing at once. He tries to clear his mind, but the noise grows louder. The clock ticks, but time seems to stand still. His body is tired, but his mind is on fire. Tomorrow, he promises. Tomorrow, he'll do better. But deep down, he knows the truth. He's failed again. He shuts off the phone, but the ringing in his ears doesn't stop. It's there, always there. The constant noise, the never-ending cycle of thoughts pulling him in every direction. He's tried everything, but nothing lasts. And in that moment of weariness, something shifts within him. Maybe it isn't new tricks he needs. Maybe it's an old method, a discipline forged long ago by men who knew the true cost of a restless mind. What if peace wasn't something to seek, but something to cultivate? Maybe, like the samurai, what he needed wasn't more effort, but harmony. And in that realization, a quiet question begins to form. What if silence is the answer? The noise still lingered in the background, but now there was something else. A word, a whisper, cutting through the cacophony like a blade through fog. Seishin Chōwa. In the middle of his struggle, in the midst of his restless thoughts, this word emerged from the silence, and for a moment, everything paused. His breath slowed, his heartbeat softened. The mind, though not completely still, had been reminded of something ancient. Seishin Chōwa mind harmony. The Japanese term spoke of something more than mere peace. It was the art of finding balance, of clearing the clutter, of calming the storm within, not by force, but through presence. Seishin means the mind or spirit. Chōwa means harmony, balance, and unity. It was the practice of aligning the mind, body, and spirit. It was a practice that samurai used to center themselves before battle, to find clarity amidst confusion, and to act with precision, no matter how chaotic the world became. And it wasn't just about stillness. It was about accepting the noise, the tension, the chaos, and finding peace within it. For centuries, samurai warriors lived and died by the principles of Seishin Chōwa. In the midst of fierce combat, when emotions ran high and the stakes were deadly, the samurai knew that mental peace was not a luxury. It was a necessity. They didn't fight with pure strength or aggression. They fought with presence. They cleared their minds, aligning their focus on the task at hand. Every movement was deliberate, each action a reflection of calm precision. Their power came from the quietness of their mind, from the harmony within. Seishin Chōwa wasn't just a ritual. It was a way of living. It wasn't about controlling thoughts. It was about not letting those thoughts control you, to be present, to move with purpose, to walk in harmony with the world around you. And it's exactly what Daniel needed. Meet Daniel, 28 years old, ambitious, driven, but always overwhelmed. He wakes up with the best intentions, a fresh start, a new day. Yet, by noon, the chaos begins. His mind jumps from task to task, from worry to worry. Emails, phone calls, to-do lists, all screaming for attention. The pressure builds. The noise inside him grows. It isn't that he doesn't want peace. He does. He's tried everything. Meditation apps, productivity hacks, even self-help books. But the more he tries to find stillness, the more frantic he becomes. It feels as though his mind is a storm he cannot escape. The truth is, Daniel is good at starting, but he's terrible at finishing. Each morning, he promises himself, "This time will be different." He sets his alarm early. He plans his day. But when the moment comes to actually do the work, his mind drifts. His thoughts are loud. The distractions pull him in every direction. He checks his phone. He checks the news. The cycle repeats. He starts. He stops. He feels guilt. Then he starts again. By the end of the day, he's done nothing but waste time. He's not lazy. He's not weak. He's overwhelmed. It's not a lack of motivation. It's a lack of focus. One day, while Daniel is sitting at his desk, frustrated with yet another failed attempt at focus, an old man enters the room. The man is calm, unhurried. He carries with him a quiet presence that immediately draws Daniel in. "You want mastery," the old man says, his voice low yet steady, "but you skip the ritual." Daniel looks at him, confused. "What do you mean?" The old man smiles, almost as if he's been expecting this question. "The mind is like a sword. If you don't sharpen it, it will dull. Seishin Chōwa is the way to sharpen your mind. A sword must be maintained, so must your mind." And just like that, something clicks in Daniel's mind. This man was speaking of something deeper than motivation. He was speaking of practice, of ritual, of presence. The first lesson was simple. Sit. Sit quietly, the old man instructed, without distraction. Feel the air. Feel your breath. Do not try to control your thoughts. Just let them pass, like leaves in the wind. At first, Daniel could barely last 5 minutes. His thoughts were relentless. But something about the ritual, something about the stillness, began to break through. Slowly, Daniel's mornings became more peaceful, but the true challenge came when his world started to spin again. Stress returned. Distractions crept back in. Still, each morning, he returned, and each time, he felt a little more in control. The old man saw the struggle in Daniel's eyes, the flickering doubt that still lingered in his mind. "You've felt it, haven't you?" The old man said, "The mind can't be controlled by will alone. It's a sword, yes, but it must be sharpened with routine, with repetition. Seishin Chōwa isn't a one-time effort, it's a system, a way of life." Daniel sat silently, absorbing the weight of the words. "The rule is simple," the old man continued. "Consistency, ritual, and presence. Your mind is not a tool you wield in bursts of energy. It's something you must tame every day. The noise doesn't vanish, but you can learn to live with it. You can learn to control it." The old man leaned forward, his eyes focused, as if he could see right through Daniel's confusion. The first step: anchor the ritual. Same time, same place. Ritual builds identity. You begin by showing up, Daniel. Every day. You do the same thing at the same time, without fail. When you do this, the ritual becomes a part of you. It's no longer just a task. It's your identity. Daniel nodded, trying to absorb the significance. Step 2. Accept the chaos. The world is never silent. Your thoughts will never stop fully. But you don't fight them. You breathe through them. You accept the discomfort, the noise. That is the art of harmony. The moment you resist the chaos, you lose. The moment you allow it to be, you gain power over it. Daniel's mind was already racing with the implications. Step 3. Protect the sequence. Never skip twice. Once is an accident, twice becomes a habit. Every time you break the rhythm, return immediately. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until next week. Return instantly. That is the key to progress. The mentor's words were not just ancient wisdom. They were validated by modern science. Behavioral research has shown that small, consistent habits create neural pathways that make tasks easier over time. In fact, the more regularly a behavior is repeated, the less energy the brain expends to perform it. This is exactly what Seishin Chōwa teaches: the power of repetition in shaping the mind. The old man's gaze softened. Systems shape identity, Daniel, not effort. You don't do the ritual. You become the man who does it. Every action, every breath, every moment you dedicate to Seishin Chōwa is a stone in the foundation of your new self. And in that moment, Daniel understood. This wasn't about short bursts of motivation. It was about becoming someone different, someone who could handle the chaos, someone who could stay calm, present, and centered. One morning, Daniel woke up without the usual weight on his chest. It was early. The room was still dark, but there was no rush, no pressure, no anxiety. The moment his eyes opened, there was nothing to resist. The thoughts came, but instead of pushing them away, he simply acknowledged them. He didn't fight the noise. He didn't react to it. There was no panic, no urgency. Just a deep, quiet awareness of the present. The storm inside him had softened. It was still there, but now it was just background noise. The calm was no longer an effort. It was just there. As the days passed, Daniel found that his rituals had become second nature. He no longer had to force himself to wake up early, to meditate, to sit in silence. His body moved before his mind even spoke. The ritual was part of him now, ingrained in his being. There were no more internal debates, no more negotiations. The moment he woke, he knew what to do. The silence came first. The mind quieted. The chaos, while never gone, became more distant. His actions were simple, deliberate. His thoughts were now tools, not distractions. Daniel didn't force discipline anymore. His feet moved before his mind could object. The ritual wasn't something he did. It was simply who he had become. At work, his colleagues began to notice something different about him. His focus had sharpened. His calmness was contagious. People no longer saw him as just a man with good intentions who always fell short. He was becoming someone who could follow through, someone who could hold steady in moments of stress. Some people admired him. They asked, "What changed? How do you stay so calm?" Others, though, feared it. They didn't understand this new stillness. It made them uneasy. Daniel didn't mind. He didn't need their approval. He had found something deeper. He was finally living with peace, not as a temporary state, but as a foundation. Discipline is not an action. It is a way of being. We spend so much time searching for quick fixes, for the next burst of motivation, for the fleeting moments of inspiration that carry us forward. We chase results. We chase feelings. But what if the truth is simpler? What if everything we seek lies in the quiet discipline of being present, of accepting the now, of acting with purpose, not effort? True mastery begins when the noise ends, and you can choose the same path. The question isn't whether you can clear the noise. The question is, will you choose to build the silence that will carry you through the storm? You don't need more techniques. You don't need more distractions. You need presence. You need a ritual. You need harmony. It's not about the moments when you're at your best. It's about who you become in the quiet moments, in the everyday rituals, in the stillness.